Trekkers and Trekkies, I've got a couple of, new items. So if you've been watching me for a while, you know that a little over a year ago, I got, wrong side, the Mego 1974 Mego bridge, and I got several of the figures with it, and then I ended up getting the Locutus and Q figure that had recently come out, as well as the Captain Kirk and Spock wearing the dress uniforms, as well as a modern version of the Romulan figure, was sort of a remake of the one from the 70s. Well, I have got a couple of more figures, and so I figured we'd take a look at those. One of them's on card. One of them came loose. I'm not sure if it was something that came from a special packaging or... I mean, it wasn't loose. It was in a little bag. But we'll get to that in just a minute. So, let's take a look. So, first one we've got is Captain Kirk wearing his command wrap. Now, this is something that we experienced with the Romulan, was that this came where it was basically already loose and opened, and that's fine. The package is... God, I can't hardly read that hologram sticker. Marty Abrams presents Mego. This is supposedly number 6,065 out of 10,000. At the time, they were making a new version of Spock and Chekhov as well. Of course, Chekhov never got made in the original line. That's one that I would love to get a hold of the new ones, but they're now going for upwards of $80 online. So I'm looking at, probably there's somebody who sells just the head for like $10. I think it's on Dr. Mego. Sells the heads for $10. So I may be looking at getting one of those and making my own version. So we've got the typical built-in boots, which is one of the things that Mego did on all the male figures. They didn't do it on like Ahura or any of the females. The jacket is the typical back Velcro, and we've got the 2018 licensing information on the back there. And the head looks pretty much exactly like the one from the 70s. The not quite William Shatner look. It's always amused me. Ooh, that arm is stiff. Don't know why the other one... Huh, what do we got going on here, guys? Huh. Something seems to be off with the rubber bands, because this arm does not want to... There we go. It's just... Yeah, it's just the rubber band on that one's really tight. This one's kind of loose, so it's a little easier to move around. Got the articulation in the wrist, elbows, all the typical stuff. He'll be able to sit in the command chair real good. I'm debating about... I've seen a few of the chairs online that you can get from Thingiverse and such, and debated whether or not I want to get one of those, because I've got the command chair that came with the bridge, and my Kirk is currently sitting in it. But I want one that looks more like the actual one from the show, so we'll have to wait and see. Now, the other one we've got is the Gorn. Now, like I said, this came in this plastic baggie. I know it came on a card similar to this other one a few years ago, but now it comes like this. It's funny to me, it has two belts, because it has the plastic belt that the phaser and communicator are attached to, and then it has a little leatherette belt attached to the costume. This now the back in the 70s they put out a figure for the Gorn, but it looked nothing like the character from the show. The body was a reuse of the Klingon body and outfit. In fact, the costume was identical to the Klingon costume, and they used the head from Marvel's Lizard. The villain for Spider-Man, except it was in brown, which was a weird choice again because the Gorn was green. But they made it in brown and put it on a Klingon body, and that was their version of the Gorn. I know a few people who have sort of remade those. They've been getting some of the old Lizard Man figures and painting them and that kind of thing. I do have some plans in the future to make something sort of similar that I got an idea from another YouTuber on. But next week I will be doing my very first custom build on a Mego figure. In fact, I'll be recording that as soon as I'm done with this, or start recording it because it'll take some time to paint and dry and all that other stuff. But yeah, so anyways, back to the Gorn. It's got these leather fabric gauntlets on the arms. The head is actually a very good sculpt. Very impressive sculpt. In fact, I think I like the sculpting and everything on this figure more than the Playmates one. It's really good. One interesting choice is that the legs are solid. They don't have articulation in the ankles, which I realize that like the Kirk one doesn't have that, but that's just because of the way that they did the boots. But most other Mego figures have articulation in the ankles. This one, it only has the little Velcro bit there. You can kind of see. Actually, I think you can see it better on camera than I can in life, because I've got lights set up better for you than I do for myself. Again, I remember this was one of the funny things to me was that Mego, they made the phaser and communicator for all the good guys would get printed in blue, and for bad guys they get made in red. And so back in the day, the Klingon, the Romulan, if you remember the Romulan that I showed you a while back, it's the exact same phaser, but it's in red, and I've always found that hilarious. But yeah, now we can reenact some of the scenes from the episode Arena. I do need to apparently take off his shirt though, right? No. Well, that looks far more intimate than I had intended. So, on that sweet, intimate moment, we are going to wrap that up for today. I am going to thank you for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed getting to see these. I have a whole lot more Mego stuff coming up in the future, as well as Mego builds. We're going to be doing a bunch of aliens, so and a few regular characters, a few villains, and that kind of thing. So come back, check it out in the future, and I will see you next time.
If you enjoy my videos and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Also, you can support the show by signing up on Patreon, or head over to Zazzle to pick up prints of my artwork, prints on canvas, t-shirts, and other merch. You can find me on social media. For more information and updates on the channel, all info is below. If you didn't enjoy the video, why are you still here? Do you want a song? Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, them, 3 bags full. One for the master, who can screw himself. You can listen to somebody else.